Hello and welcome to Chair Interval Training, brought to you by Community Access Yellow Springs and the Yellow Springs Senior Center, and me, Lynn Hardman, newly certified senior specialist through the American Council on Exercise. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of things this past year because I had a little time. Anyway, as I record this show, I wanted to let you know that today it's vernal equinox, or the first day of spring for our northern hemisphere of our planet Earth, and it's the autumnal equinox for the southern hemisphere. But on this day, everybody on planet Earth is having the same amount of dark versus light. And the other thing we're all experiencing is the pandemic. So keep that in mind. There's been a lot of things that have happened over the past year that divide us, but we all are human beings inhabiting this planet Earth, and I want us all to be healthy and strong and use our minds and our hearts and our hard work to make it better. All right, I'm off of my soapbox now, so I want to remind you, we're going to do a little stand up, sit down, fight chair interval training so you can modify or adapt but never give up. Be a survivor. That's the name of my women's senior volleyball team. Or better yet, be a thriver. You'll need a sturdy chair, and it's recommended if you feel dizzy at any time or out of balance or just not quite comfortable with the exercise intensity or choices, have a seat. You can still continue to move and reap the benefits of your exercise there in the chair. As always, consult your physician before you do any new exercise program, and listen to your body. You know you. I'm trusting you to go at your own pace. All right, today we're going to use a rubber band, tubing, or a flat spray, or any brand of rubber or non-latex band, and a ball. Let's get started, shall we? I'm so happy that I can see the light at the end of this pandemic tunnel, and I hope you are too, and I hope you're getting vaccinated and all your loved ones are having more and more opportunities. But talk to your doctor about that as well. All right, let's get going. I'm just full of lectures today. All right. Now, it's always a great idea to stay near enough to keep your chair within your peripheral vision, and this way you can also reach out and touch it if you need a balance check. This is a Silver Sneakers approved exercise program, but whether you have Silver Sneakers or not, that's just a Medicare-based, evidence-based exercise program. You, with regular exercises that focus on agility, balance, coordination, strength, flexibility, you will reduce your risk of falls. The key is going at your own pace and doing it regularly. Don't beat yourself up if you just are getting started today. Just go gently. We're going to warm up for about 10 minutes, and then we'll do alternating intervals of 10 minutes of cardiovascular exercise or cardiorespiratory for our heart and lungs. And that's where we'll work on our balance and our agility and our coordination. And then we'll do intervals mostly in the chair with some options to stand of strength work for our whole body. Okay, just march it out a little bigger with that arm swing if it feels good, smaller if it doesn't, and you can march in your chair. But let's try marching our feet out wider. I'm going to come out in front of my chair, but I strongly urge, in fact, implore you, stay behind your chair, and we're going to rock and roll. You could be off to the side of it as well. But we're sinking down into a little mini squat, flexing through our hips, knees, and ankles to get them ready for more activity. Shoulders can come up toward the ear, gently at first. And then maybe a little backward circle. It should feel good to move your body gently. If not, make it a little bit of a smaller movement. Give yourself time. And you can always move in your chair. Do your best to take a little rest when you need it. Okay. Let's see how it feels to tap our heels out in front and let those arms swing again. Again, you can be either at the side of your chair or behind it. So be careful you don't kick your chair. Excellent. Now let's tap those heels out to the side. Maybe a toe. Tap your toe. That feels more natural. And swing your arms a little bit away. Working in a different plane now. And very gently, we're going to add a little bit of rotation. Maybe letting our arms gently willow from right to left. Easy does it with your rotation. If it feels good, you can reach across your body. We're just getting ready for all different kinds of movement in different directions. Good. I'd also like to give you a little preview of what we're going to work on today with our patterns to strengthen our heart and lungs, and also agility, balance, and coordination. Let's bring it back to that march. I'm going to bring myself over here to the right side of the chair so I can use it to stabilize or check my balance if I need. And we're going to do a very, very slow out, in march, starting with that right foot. We're going to go step it out, and then out to a wide stance, and then in to a neutral stance, a little faster. Out, in. Let's try to tempo. Out, in. You can move your hands with your feet, or you can keep one hand on your chair, but don't wander away from your chair. You can sink down into that wide stance with a little bit more of a squat, or not. We're going to use this out, in pattern with all kinds of other brain games and coordination games, and even at different faster speeds when we're good and warmed up. But just so you know what's coming, it'll be a little bit faster. And if that's jarring to your lower back, hips, knees, or ankles, or feet, you just come back to your own safe pace. Got it? Later on, we'll add some clapping and some different changing lead feet. All right, so we're going to do another pattern. That was about agility predominantly and coordination. We're going to do another pattern that will help us work on our balance and a little bit of power. So, get your left foot slightly ahead of your right and sink down into a little bit of a mini lunge. And we're going to do this cross jab kickbox routine we've done before, but maybe you weren't with us. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our right hand and punch across the midline. We've got that left hand on the chair if we need it. We'll do 3 of those. 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to rock our weight back to our right and lift our left knee. Okay? And it'll go like this. Cross, 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 knee. 1, 2, 3, knee. 1, 2, 3. You have to shift your weight. Now, if your balance is rock steady, you certainly could take your hand off of that chair. But if it's right there near your chair, you're all set. Great. We're going to do that with a different kind of a side jab. We're going to punch to the right and then kick right. You can shift your weight into that punch. Shifting your weight is a bit of a balance strategy. Good. One more time, and that's enough preview. We'll do that on the other side when we get to that point. Let's continue warming up. Any good warm up after we've got our blood going and our joints a little bit warmer will include some dynamic range of motion, which we did a little bit of. But Make sure your chair is touching your legs so you don't go splat when you sit down. And make sure your ball's out of the way. Keep your head in, chest up as you get your hips way back. Dig your heels in and all 10 toes if you got them. I hope you got them. Losing a toe is really makes balance a bigger challenge. That's why you gotta wear shoes while you do this workout. You must wear a sturdy, appropriate sneaker for the activity if you are diabetic. If you're not, just don't hurt your toes. It's really better to wear a good supportive shoe. But you know you. Okay. Whenever you want or need, it's good to have your water tucked away under the footprint of your chair or somewhere where you can reach it and not trip on it. So here's to a safe environment. We're going to stay hydrated by getting 2 or 3 different water breaks. And I'm also going to cue you about posture, ears over shoulders over hips, whether you're seated or standing. And I'm going to cue you about intensity and breathing. Make sure when we do our strength exercises, let's get our feet moving, stretching out the right and the left legs, stretching out the opposite arms. Make sure you continue breathing at your own pace, never holding your breath while we do our exercises. And as far as intensity goes, we're going to use a scale of 1 being the lowest possible intensity, practically falling asleep, and a 10 being way too much or maximal intensity. And as you already know about your own body, it's best to go for a happy medium, target intensity being approximately 4 to 7, and 8 would be feeling like, I don't know if I could continue at this pace. Okay? Let's take that foot and stretch the toe up to the ceiling and stretch the back of the knee, lifting the fingers, lifting the toes. If it hurts your lower back or your hip or anything, you can stretch that heel down on the floor. Well, let's just take 2 more, and then we're going to say hello with the hand and the foot, right and left. Or just limber up those ankles and wrists. Very important for our overall enjoyment and activities of daily living. Spreading those fingers wide. Excellent. Okay, let's take that right leg out, supporting a long, strong torso on our left lat. Keep lengthening your spine as you hinge forward just a bit at the hip. These beginning stretches are just preparatory. They're not meant to increase our range of motion. They're meant to ease our motion. Lift the toes and the fingers, and then push the sole of the foot down like you're pushing on a pedal. Pull the navel in, draw the knee a little closer to the chest, and draw big flowy circles one way with your right foot, and then the other way. Again, if this hurts your hip or any part, you can do that on the ground. Excellent. Reset your posture to your tallest seated self. Extend that left leg, inhale. Supporting on this lap and as well with your braced abdominals while you breathe. Toes and fingers up. Oh, it's so good to move our bodies. And then push the foot down like you're pushing on a pedal. Sit tall. Hold those abdominal muscles in to support the back. And lean into your chair back, drawing the knee closer to the chest and drawing circles with your left foot now. One way and then the other. And this is going to feel good to me because I spent a good bit of time outside getting my garden all ready, and I planted some seeds, and that's hard work. This exercise program is meant to have you better able to enjoy your life and the activities that you want to do and that you've probably been looking forward to do. All right, so take a deep breath. Let's open our chest and shoulders. Inhale, exhale. Let's stretch like a cat, arching our backs, drawing chin toward the chest. Ooh. Okay, this is your first of many opportunities to self-assess your perceived exertion. Ideally, we feel like a 2 or a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 at the end of that warm-up. Now, we're going to work on our agility. That's that out, out, in march at different paces with different kinds of coordination and brain activities. Coordination is a brain activity. Anything that better connects our brain and body is going to strengthen and indeed grow new neural connections, and that's good. The brain is the only organ that can continue to get better our whole entire life, but only with the proper stimulus. Good exercise, proper exercises, and good nutrition, and lots of hydration, and you probably guessed it, sleep. I'm going to sleep well tonight. All that gardening and this exercise, I hope the same for you. All right, let's start out here. If you're standing, we'll be on the left side of our chair or directly behind it. I am going to sneak out in front, but again, I want to remind you to stay right behind your chair, but you won't be able to see my feet very well, or off to the left. And I'm going to tuck this under so it doesn't get under my feet. And we're going to move our bodies, starting with that left foot out really slow, and then the right, and we're in a mini squat, and then in to our neutral stance, and a little faster, out, out, in, and tempo. Well, we got there pretty quick. Okay, we're moving our hands in conjunction with our feet, or same side, left with the left foot, right with the right. Right? Okay, you may notice this music has a lot of different world beats in it. I thought it appropriate since all of the world was experiencing this equinox. Equal light and dark phases of our 24-hour day. Okay, let's play a little game with this. Well, first let's get our motor going. If you like, let's try it a little bit faster. Out, out, in, out, out. Light on your feet. And now you can pump those arms opposite of your legs if you wish. Or you can just hold your chair. All right, 4 more. 3 more, if you got it. 2 more. And slow it down to tempo. Got it? Are you with me? Breathing? Good, that got my heart rate up a little. Try to keep your posture nice and tall. And let's add a clap. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 step pattern. There's 4 steps in each one of these patterns. We're going to try clapping on one of the counts. Let's start where most people start in the beginning. And clap on 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you're doing it. Good. Let's try it on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. You could say it along with the pattern and test your talk test. You should be able to talk. 3, 4. Okay, no clap. Let's get our feet going faster if you like. Out, out, in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you think we could count or clap on 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. I hope you're good. Whoops. I messed up there. Did you hear that? Catch your breath. Catch your balance. Let's take a little balance break. I'm going to come over here to the right side because I will need my balance check. Let's take our right foot out and lean. Balancing, just floating that right foot off of the ground, keeping this left hand near the chair. Let's draw little circles with our arm and our leg. Holding the navel in. Other direction. That's a coordination challenge for me. Okay, How you doing? Ready to do that again? Over here on the right side or behind your chair? Again, I'm going to sneak out to the front so you can see what my feet are doing. But this time we're going to start with our right foot. Out, super slow, left. Then into our neutral stance. And how about a little faster? Not too fast. Sinking into that squat. How about tempo? Out, out. Ready? Good. Let's move our arms in that opposite fashion this time. Got that? All right. Now, if you brace with your abdominals, we're going to add a little coordination and I would say core activation to this. Just bring your hands together in front of your body and do a slight rotation. Breathing. Out, out, in. It's harder than it looks. Keep the shoulders right on top of the hips. Brace but breathe. That is, if someone were going to bop you in the belly, your muscles would be contracted. But nobody's going to bop you in the belly. This is hard because our core is activated. Excellent. Just let your hands go where they want. Now, we're going to move our feet double time if you like. Ready, go. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Well, what do you think I'm going to add? Only if you feel ready and able. Arms, chest high. Reduce your range of motion because we're going faster. If you really want a challenge, you could take your arms, over your head, like you're pulling. Well, I'm running out of steam here. How about you? Slow it down if you like. Take another deep breath. I'm gonna mosey on over to the left side of my chair and do that same balance exercise that we did. Make sure you've got your right hand near your chair. Stretch the left leg out. Float the left toe in the air if you can. Hold the navel in. Keep that right hand near the chair. And draw little tiny circles with your foot and your finger. Or just your foot. Or just your finger. And the other way. Man, that's hard. Okay. One more pattern. This time we're going to alternate our lead foot. I should have brought a clock out here with me. I'm so sorry. Well, the music will tell us when it's time. But let your body tell you too. So if you want to take a break, you're good. You're fine. All right, behind your chair, please. But I'm coming out front just so you can see what I'm doing with my feet. We've done this before, but it's been a while, so we're gonna start out slow with our right foot, left, now into our neutral. Now just tap that left and then head out to your left. Out, out. We're alternating our lead. Now tap your right and do it a tiny bit faster. Out, out, in, clap, tap, out, out, in, clap, tap, out, out. We're gonna stay at this rhythm or this pace a couple more times. How about one more at this pace, and then we're gonna go at tempo. Ready? Out, out, in, clap, tap. Out, out, in. Well, you know what's going to come sooner or later if you like. Don't worry, say it with me. Clap, tap. Out, out, in. Out, out, in, clap, tap. If you like, we could try it. Double time. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's hard. That's hard for me. I hope it's challenging to you. Well, I lost the rhythm. But anything that does challenge us just a little is really good for us. But it's got to be within your safe, comfortable zone. All All right, before we have a seat and transition to our strength work, let's give these calf muscles that are now good and warm a good stretch. Just taking one of your feet behind you, keeping that rear knee straightish but not locked. Lean forward. Keeping that rear foot pasted on the ground and pointing straight ahead. Whew, wow. It's pretty warm in here today because the sun is streaming in. Ease out of that calf stretch and let's gradually take the other foot back. Pasting it, the heel on the ground, toes straight ahead. Rear knee straight but not locked. These are suggested exercises. You are strongly encouraged to listen to your body and substitute ones that work best for you. But it's good to have variety in your exercise program, just as it is in your diet. So that's why we try to change it up every so often. All right, let's transition to strength in our chair, starting with our best body weight exercise for hip, thigh strength, lower legs, balance enhancement, and more. Bone density. Yes, we squat a lot. Whenever we have an opportunity, I strongly encourage you to at least twice a week include some pretty good strength exercises. You can't do too much, however, so when you're ready, sit down. Good time to get a drink of water. And I'm going to check my clock here. All right. Oh, we're fine. Great. Whenever you get things down low, whether it's in our exercise classes together or outside in your garden, step to the side and lean to the side, pulling your navel in. All of this is a great strategy to protect your lower back. We are going to use our tubing, so take your time, grab that, put it on your lap, and our ball. Oh, I'm going to get where you can see my feet. Good. All right. First, let's take our ball and situate it. We're going to scooch back in our chair a bit. We want to situate the ball behind our back, pushing against the chair's seat back. Just lay that on your lap. Push your body, your hips back in the chair with this ball close to the top of your chair back, but not going to slip out. Dig your heels into the ground about chair width apart and push into that ball. Hang on to your seat. Do not let any one of your 4 chair legs tip off of the floor. Squeeze your gluteals, that's your hip muscles, together and keep the back straight and long and strong. It's a small movement. I want you to think of exhaling as you squeeze your glute muscles, that's your butt, and your lower back to push the air out of the ball. Good. All right. That's one thing we're going to do. Let's take our tube, keep the ball behind you, and let's step on that tubing so that we have an equal length of tube on either side of our legs. Crisscross to make a letter X. Okay? Now, keep your heels close to the chair should you like to... Oh, I think I made a mistake. We don't want the ball on this one. But we got a good little set in there, didn't we? So secure your ball if you can somewhere. My fault. Got ahead of myself there. All right, so you might want to choose the squat, but you might not. So let's try our upright row first. Keeping tension on the tube, moving with our hands close to our body to strengthen our upper shoulders, upper back, biceps too. Be careful not to over squeeze the handles. Just let them kind of rest in your palms. And squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Excellent. Let's try maybe 2 more, or stop when you feel like you've reached your limit. Excellent. Now, keeping your hands down, dig your heels in as if you're going to get up, but don't actually get up. Just pretend. If you feel like you've got good stability and it's in your comfort zone, maybe a little bit challenging, I would like you to try to stand up, keeping those hands down. So we've added a little bit of resistance to our squats. You could sit back down each time, or you could just do a little touch and go. But keep your head and your chest up. Now, if that's working for you, this is going to be a little hard, or you can add back your upright row, maybe only halfway, because we've got a lot more distance between our shoulders and our feet when we stand up. Now you could be doing this seated through your safe, comfortable range of motion and abilities, or the whole total body exercise. All right, let's sit back down if you're standing. Keep those feet on the tubing, but let's walk our hips and our feet forward in our chair. Okay, we're gonna do a different exercise. Draw the elbows close to your rib cage, palms up, and just rest your hands on your lap, shoulders down and back. We're going to start with a little abdominal slide. So it's important your hips are at the front of the chair. Hold your navel in and lean back a little. Tuck your chin, keeping the back of the neck long. Feeling the work in the lower part of your abdominals. But fear not if you feel it up closer to your midriff. The entire rectus abdominis muscle is working to lift your torso a few inches and lean back with control. Now, if something's hurting, you could just lean back and keep that navel pulling into the spine. But if everything's good for you, keep doing your abdominal core work. And we're going to add a little hip abduction, sliding the right foot out, sliding the left foot out. Keeping the body centered now, adding a little bit of coordination and difficulty to the exercise. If you wanted, you could simply do the hip abduction. That's pretty hard in and of itself. Or continue with the ab slides. And last but not least, a third option. Keeping your elbows pasted to your torso, we could do a bicep curl. Man, this is a lot of work. I better save some. I've got to pace myself. I have another big activity to do yet this evening. Okay, how are you doing? Was that about enough for you? Don't take your feet off of the tube. That was my sign again. That happened last week too. Okay, keep your feet on the tubing. We're going to do one more set of strength exercises, but switch the tube from your left hand to your right and the right to the left. So now you've got sort of a letter U with your tubing. Now lift your heels and bring the tube underneath your thighs. Oh, voila! Keep that tube underneath your thighs and sit tall, pull your navel in. We're going to do a little cross shoulder chop, shoulder and chest, low at first, see how that feels. If you bring the tubing closer to your hips, that might help you to keep your hand closer to your frontal plane. That is the line that divides your front half from your back half, that imaginary plane. Pull the navel in and add core rotation. If it feels good, stretch that arm all the way out, but keep it in your frontal plane. If it doesn't feel good, reduce the range of motion, but pull the navel in. This is working shoulders and chest. And just to remind yourself and your body of what's coming, let's try our pattern. We're going to do 3 cross chops, and then we're going to do a knee lift. Okay, so right hand, are you ready? Push, 2, 3, and then knee. Other hand, left cross chop. One more time. Other leg, right leg. A little faster, right. 2, 3, and knee, left. 1, 2, 3, and knee, right. 1, 2, 3, and knee, left. 1, 2, 3, and knee. One more set. Left, or this is right. And other right. Woo! Well, hopefully that was a good little bit of strength for you. You picked out your favorites. Take your time to get that tube back where it's out of your way. We are going to use it again. So, oh my, I've scooched around. Let's catch our water break. Being mindful, step to the side, lean to the side, and get a little sip. Okay, now we did our little preview for our kickboxing, but I wanted to show you, you can get a really good workout in your chair. Those of you who know you're going to be standing, go ahead and get on your feet, get ready, get set. Over on the right hand side, you'll have your left hand near your chair, and you're going to want to put your right foot slightly ahead of your left. Is that right? Sorry. Left foot slightly ahead of your right. And then we're going to take that right fist and punch across the body, rotating those ribs 3 times, and then left knee. Do it again. 3, slow. 2, slow. 1, and I'm going to transition to my feet. You can stay in your seat. Faster now. 3, 2, 1, hold. Kind of lower yourself into your mini lunge and rotate that hip as well as your torso. And breathe. 3, 2, 1. You can keep your hand on your chair the whole time. Or if you're rock steady, bring your other hand up and hold. Here's your guard. How about 2 more at tempo? And then if you're feeling it, we're going to do it quicker. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Grab that chair. Make sure you touch it. 1, 2, 3. Hoo. 1 more. Oh, that was big work. Shake it out. We're going to do that on the other side. And then we'll come back over here. Okay? So let's take it over while that's fresh in our muscle memory. This time we're going to use our left hand. We're going to get our right foot slightly ahead of the left. Make sure you can touch the right hand on the chair and see it with your eyes. And let's go slow. Cross. One more time. And then right knee. Again, slow. Make sure you're rotating onto the ball of that rear foot and pulling that navel in and knee. Good. Now tempo. Cross, 2, 3. Pull. Cross, 2, 3. Engage your core. Engage your hips. This is really good for our balance, strength, and power. If your balance is good, you can bring that right hand up to guard. Pull. You can punch if everything's feeling good with control, but power. It's up to you. 1 more at tempo. And if you like, faster now. 1, 2, 3, pull. You got your chair if you need it. We have to rock our weight forward and back. That's part of the challenge here. And it's quicker. How about 2 more? Good. Walk it out. Shake it out. Yeah, you can shake those fingers. Shake those feet. How are you doing on our perceived exertion scale, 1 to 10? What did you say? You ready to take a little break? Well, all fighters will work on their cardiovascular and their agility, as well as their coordination. And often you see them with a jump rope. Let's pretend we've got a jump rope. And I'm just tapping my heels. Stay behind your chair. Keep one hand on your chair at all times if you need, but stay behind your chair. I'm going to come out front. So we're doing that heel dig that we did in the warm-up. And we're just pretending we're jumping rope. If you want, you could kick that foot out and work on your balance a little. If you want, you can go faster. You can keep your feet on the floor and just kind of rock your weight from hip to hip. Or you could do some heel digs quicker. Or you can go red hot pepper. Backwards. All right, how you doing? Want to try it on the right side one more time? This time with our right jab, right side kick. Hold the navel in. Sink down into your athletic stance, your mini squat. Left hand can see and touch, or your eyes can see and your hand can touch the chair. We'll start slow. 3 jabs to the right. 1, 2, 3. Kick. 1, 2, 3. This takes up a lot of room. Hopefully you're not kicking a lamp or a coffee table. But if you're behind your chair, you don't take up as much room. Jab, jab. Shift your body weight. And we're balancing momentarily on that left foot when we make that side kick. You can kick strong and low or medium. If your balance is just not feeling up to par, you could tap your toe. All of those are good, but just do your best and move. How about one more at tempo? And if you'd like to move faster, here we go. Jab, 2, 3, kick, jab, 2, 3, kick, jab, 2, 3, kick. If your balance is good, you can bring that left hand up. Kick, I missed a beat. Did you feel that? 2 more. Woo! All right, shake it out. Well, you don't have to do it on the left side. There's no law that says you have to do things equal and opposite. If something's hurting, respect your body. Breathe, prepare. Make sure you can see and touch the chair over here on the left side. Get down into your little mini squat. And jab to the left. Jab, 2, 3. Kick, jab, 2, 3. Awesome. Pull the navel in. You got your chair if you need it. And kick, jab, 2, 3. Kick. Breathing. Shifting our weight. Using our chair if we need it. 2 more at tempo, if you like. Kick. Now, double time, if you like. Jab, 2, 3, kick. You got your chair. Huh. If you're rock solid with your balance, you can get that other hand up. Otherwise, there it is. 2 more if you got it. Woo! Relax, shake it, shake it. How you doing? Can you talk? Do you want to try one more little aerobic coordination challenge? Behind our chair, let's imagine we've got a speed bag or one of those boxing bags that hangs on a hook. We're going to hit it with our right. Hit it with our left. A little faster. Right, left, right. A little faster. Right, left, right, left, left. Or just roll it. Now move your feet faster. If you like. Hands can come down if your shoulders are feeling it, or on your chair. Feet can go slow, hands can go fast, or vice versa. How you doing? Can you talk? Hope so. I think we got to our quota of time. Take a deep breath. Let's catch our breath before we get transition to our strength, whether you're already seated or not. I want you to do a little calf strengthening balance exercise while we breathe. Bring your feet to a neutral stance, right under your hip sockets. Make sure you can touch your chair. And just come up, rise up to the balls of your feet. Good, and then come back down and sink into your triple flexion in this neutral stance. Good, breathe in, come up to your tippy toes, hold it for a few more seconds this time. 4, 3, if you like, 2, 1, come down into that triple flexion. Good, one more little experiment, if you like. Toe heel or tandem stance, a little space or not. You can always go back to your neutral stance. Keep your hand near your chair and come up to your tippy toes. See if you can hold that. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down into that triple flexion. And last but not least, if you'd like, switch your other foot in front. You can leave some space between or not. It's up to you. Best posture, keep your hand right near your chair as you rise up into the balls of your feet, balancing and strengthening the feet and ankles and calves. Excellent. Come down into that triple flexion, stretch a bit. All right, we're going to use our ball and our band together this time. But let's use our body weight squat first to safely get in our chair, safely build strength in our hips, thighs, and whole body. Pull the core in, keep the head up, get the hips back. Don't let the knees knock. You got this. Excellent. Power up if you like. Ease on down and do a few more if you care to, but don't worry. You'll have another opportunity to do just that if it's in your safe but somewhat challenged ability range today, because every day is different. I don't know what you did today. I do know it's a good time to get a sip of water, brace with your core, brace with your arm as you step to the side, and mindfully kind of slow yourself down to get that drink of water. Okay, this time, we are going to use the ball and the band. So let's take our time, get that ball, and we're going to stick it behind our back, scooching our hips back. Back, back, back. Grabbing that band. You can double it over or make it single. It depends on how thick the band is. But we're going to do a horizontal row. First, we're going to get that ball behind our mid-back region, dig our heels in close to the chair legs, hold onto the chair for stability, and keep the back long. Keep the spine straight up and down. That is, try not to lean left or right. Hold the navel in, exhale, squeeze your gluteals as you do this hyperextension or press with the gluteals contracting, lower back contracting, digging your heels in, contracting your hamstring muscles as well. So this is our lower body core option. Breathe and really dig your heels in, but don't let your chair tip, please. Okay, take a break, but keep the tension on the ball so it doesn't fall out. You can double up your band, or you can just use a single length. But keep your wrists nice and straight, neutral, and just see how it feels to pull the band apart like saltwater taffy and draw your elbows back. Now this time I want you to imagine sitting at a high table and your hands are just brushing over the top of the table and your elbows are too. I know, we're not supposed to have our elbows on the table, but just for the purpose of this, stay in this horizontal plane. Now, if you want, squeeze that ball, dig your heels in, inhale, exhale at your own pace. You can do the horizontal row with a shoulder squeeze behind you, all by itself. You could do the hyperextensions all by themselves, or you could do both. But I feel like I am almost done with both. And that, gentle reminder, is the goal of our strength training, okay? Now, keep that band on your lap, but grab your ball and scoot your hips forward. Tuck the ball between your legs. Feet a little closer than your knees. And give that ball a squeeze. Good. As you do that, exhale and pull the navel in. So we're strengthening the inner thighs here. Excellent. So this is our lower body core option, because we're pulling the navel in and bracing and breathing each time we contract and strengthen the inner thighs, which help us to do squats, which squats are very functional. We need to get up and down many times in our everyday lives, in and out of cars of varying heights, in and out of chairs of varying heights, stooping to get pots, pans, garden things, right? Picking up small children, if we're lucky. All right, now, rest your legs, grab your band. We're gonna add upper body option with that tube around the back of your upper rib cage. See how it feels. I want to put a little more tension, so I'm going to grab the tube a little closer to my chest. Keep those wrists straight and push. And if you want to do the chest press by itself, solo, that's strengthening your chest, fronts of your shoulders and triceps. If you want to just do the leg squeeze by itself, dig your heels in, pull the navel in, and give it your best. You could put them together, as well as pulling that navel in and then leaning back, but don't let your heels pop off. And now we've got an abdominal slide. So all kinds of things going on. Excuse me. And do your best. And then we're going to take a break from these resistance tools. The tubing, release the tension on that and tuck it away or toss it aside. And the ball, we're done with that. Well, it's coming back. See if I can do a better job. Ha. Have a sip of water, and I'm going to teach you a variation on a squat that I'll just show you today because it's a little advanced, but we will use it next week and in some coming weeks. I'm going to turn to the side so you can just watch today. Normally when we do our squats, we've got our feet in an even horizontal plane, but starting next week, as an option, we're going to slightly put one leg ahead of the other. In this case, it's my left, maybe a foot's width or length ahead of the right. And when we get up, we're going to hinge forward at the hips and really dig that front foot heel into the ground as we do these staggered squats. And you'll feel a lot more engagement of the left hip. So obviously, if it suits your body, we'll do it with the right leg slightly forward. So that's a squat variation that we're going to add to our repertoire. If we've gradually built up our hip strength and our joints are feeling good with those kinds of ranges of motion. Okay? All right, so, and that will also enhance our balance. Before we do anything else, let's center our mind and pay attention to our breath. You're welcome. You're invited to sit way back in your chair. Relax from the tip of your head. Release the tension as if it's just rolling down your face, down your neck, shoulders, back, chest, body, thighs, and eventually just drooping off to the ground underneath you. You can rest your arms in your lap and just breathe in through your nose, filling your lungs from the bottom to the top. Each breath you take in, notice any tight spots in your body and soothe them as you exhale, releasing any tension. Effortlessly energizing your body with each inhale. And likewise, naturally letting the breath go, letting any tension or discomfort go with the breath. And in just a few mindful breaths or practice of mindful breathing, we can consciously bring our heart rate and breath rate down, and that's a good thing. But with a little bit longer practice, you could incorporate some mental exercises like meditation. And don't let meditation make you feel uncomfortable. You can call it whatever you will. But I wanted to share with you a kind of meditation that I've been trying lately since I read Sanjay Gupta's book called Analytic Meditation. He doesn't talk about it too much, but basically the thought is take something that is troubling you or challenging you, whether it's a physical discomfort or an emotional anxiety or maybe a car is broken and you can't do the things that you want, maybe whatever it is. Take that concern and sort of imagine putting it in a bubble over your head. And once it's in that bubble and contained, just look at it, judgment free, think about it, turn it around and study it from all angles, and basically reflect on what the challenge truly is and what you might be able to do to make it less troublesome. It's worth a try. Anyway, that's called Analytic Meditation, and it's kind of good because it just makes you focus on one thing, and you may have noticed I like to focus on a lot of things. All right, let's stretch our body. If you would, come to the edge of your chair and let's stretch the hips. We could do this with a modified pigeon pose, crossing ankle over ankle and letting the outside of that right knee drift down and hinging forward slowly, gradually. However, if your abilities allow you, you could do a medium, stretching out that leg a little further, and this would allow you to get a slightly more flexion and stretch on that hip, or a third step would be crossing ankle over lap. So use the way that best gets your body hinging gradually forward yet supported, and feeling a comfortable, not painful stretch, not bobbing or bouncing on the deepest part of the hip. So take a deep breath, reach your tailbone back and the crown of your head up as if you're taking off. Exhale, keep your shoulders up, but if you like, you may just gently let the head bow, chin coming closer to your throat, relaxing, gently guiding this knee toward the floor, the outside of the knee. Good. You'll know if you're doing that stretch well. You really feel it, don't you? So the other side may be less or more flexible. So you've got this first option of crossing ankle on ankle, gently guiding the outside of the knee down, keeping the torso long and supported. Or putting that out a little further away from you and attempting to do the same thing gradually, carefully. Or for those that can comfortably put their outside of their ankle on top of the other leg, hinging forward, gradually breathing as we stretch the tailbone back and the crown of the head up towards where the ceiling meets the wall in front of us. Exhale, if you like, you can keep the collarbone, shoulders up, but let the head bow just with the weight of the head, gently lengthening the back of the neck. Good. Inhale up. Let's focus on this musculature of the trapezius and the neck a little more, and the chest and the shoulders, opening with our breath as we breathe in, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, letting our chest rise, gaze a little too, exhale, interlacing fingers, tucking our tailbone under and rounding our spine. Let's do that again, but once our hands gradually get behind us, let's find a little place to anchor them on the chair. Keep all four legs of the chair solid on the ground, and as you're ready to exhale, lean forward and lengthen the spine from the tailbone up through all the vertebrae, up through the crown of the head. And as you're ready to exhale, let the right ear drift down toward the right shoulder without tilting the body, just gentle side lateral flexion of the neck and feeling a comfortable, gentle stretch on the left side. Inhale when you're ready, straightening, lengthening the torso again. Feeling stretch through the front of the chest, perhaps, and then exhale when you're ready, left ear, gently, gradually lowering closer to your left shoulder. Feeling a gentle tension as we breathe in a little development of that stretch along the right side of the neck. Excellent. Good. All right. Well, that's about all we have time for today. But hey, I highly recommend you stretch periodically 2 to 3, perhaps as many as 5 times a day. 2 really good times to gently move through ranges of motion, especially with your ankles and your wrists and your fingers and your knees and your toes and your shoulders, is when you wake up first thing in the morning and when you're getting ready to go to sleep. Those are good times, and that gentle range of motion will help reduce the amount of perhaps crampiness that you get in the middle of the night. Anyway, I am so glad I've been able to do this exercise class with you virtually, so big shout out and many, many, many thanks to Sean Devine, the Community Access Yellow Springs Station Manager, and Karen Wolford and her small but mighty staff at the Yellow Springs Senior Center. Hooray, hurrah! And hurrah for all of our leaders. I know it's been a tough time, and it's getting better. You've got to admit, it's getting better. All right, until next time, keep it safe and simple.